We're here in New Haven, and we run into a situation where another system was installed and the property has an iron ochre issue. That means there's a lot of manganese or magnesium in the soil, and it creates this orange gel. It clogs systems, especially the gutter systems and the box systems. So it's kind of like the nemesis for those type of waterproofing systems. So we're going to be tearing that system out, and we're going to be designing a system specifically to deal with this very heavy-duty iron ochre issue that we have in this basement today. Once again, we have a system that's the wrong system for this particular type of foundation. This is a box system that manages the water within the depth of the floor. So the floor is always sitting in water. Something about where the water's managed seems to ignite this whole iron ochre thing, where this stuff grows and it creates this orange, yellowish jelly, which clogs waterproofing systems. One of the reasons that you see an opening on top here is that's a clean out that allows you to flush out when this iron ochre grows and builds. Just grew way faster than these clean outs were able to flush that iron ochre out of the system. This is that drain board, and you can see it's like cardboard with a little bit of like wax gloss on it type thing. And if you go down here, that right there is the top of the box. And if you look over, it's this close to the top of the floor. Well, let's just take a look at how thick the floor is. This is cement that was put back on top of this box system. After they removed the full thickness of the floor, they put the box within the depth of the floor, and they put back in about probably right around a half an inch, maybe a little over a half an inch of concrete. If you have water at this level, your whole floor sits in water, concrete's porous, it absorbs that water, and then evaporates out into the air, or even never gets to the pump, and then leaks up through cracks and things like that. When you have pressure up against the bottom of your floor, it's going to find its way up through the cracks. It's going to soak the whole floor, so the floor is constantly wet. But right here, you can see, if I move it away quick enough, you can see where exactly that drainage is. And that's the wrong place for drainage for this particular type of foundation. The system that we're putting in is going to be custom designed, every inch of it. We have a huge iron ochre issue going on that we have to deal with. Now, normally we portray our system as perpetually self-cleaning, and it is. The customer has already spent thousands of dollars on another type of waterproofing system that completely failed, so they're a little bit gun shy. So they asked us if there's something we can do above and beyond in order to assure them that they're never going to have this nightmare of the iron ochre growing in and covering the entire floor, as you've already seen. So what we've done is we're setting up a backflow system that's going to go between a pump in this corner and a pump in this corner that we're going to be able to switch on and off. In other words, every month or every couple months, the water will flush from one pump over to the other and then back across. And we're also have investigated and found out there's a product that also kills iron ochre, and we're having the customer, they're going to add that to the water. So as the water's blowing back and forth between the two pumps, it's going to be putting this product in that actually kills the iron ochre. So here's how the system works. We have our normal discharge line. When the handle of the valve is straight with the pipe, that means it's open. That means the water is going to go straight up through here and do the normal discharge. Now, if we turn this crossways, that closes this valve off. So the water can no longer go and discharge outside the house naturally. Now we have another valve down here, which is closed, which we're going to open like that. So now this water is going to blow back this way through the system and then create a good flow of water flushing back in, because we have a pitch right back to where this pump is. And then we also have another pump on the other side that's going to be blowing water towards. So they're going to be blowing water towards each other, which is going to keep this whole area completely free of any type of clogging from that iron ochre. It's doing it. It's working. So we're testing our backflush system. So we've turned it on and we've blown water back up into the system, and then the moment that we turn it back off, we can hear the water gushing through the system back over into the sump basin. It means we have our pitch dialed in just perfect. So we only set up one of the pumps so far. There's going to be one on the other side, so they're going to be blowing water past each other, so it's going to completely flush out the entire system. You're never ever going to have a buildup of iron ochre again. Now the customer is extremely nervous about this whole iron ochre issue and said above and beyond, above and beyond. So what we did was, in our normal run of 4-inch corrugated perforated ADS pipe, we put a T in it and we put another piece that's going to come up above the system. So our floors here, we're going to re-cement right back up to the normal thickness of the floor, and we're going to leave just a hair of the ADS above and showing, and there's a solid lid that we're going to be able to cap this with. So we're going to take that and put it like this, but it's going to be flush right with the top of the floor, maybe just up a hair or so you can lift the lid on it. And that'll allow us more access to do more flushing in the case it's necessary. We're finishing up here in New Haven, Connecticut. The job went great. We increased the size of their drainage about 20-fold, putting the drainage where it should be, 10 to 12 inches below the bottom of the floor as opposed to within the depth of the floor. Once again, we're looking at a scenario where it's a big pile of a waterproofing system that costs thousands of dollars to install, only to be taken out because it wasn't up for the task, whether it's an iron ochre task or just maybe a high volume area where there's a whole lot of water, where these systems just get overwhelmed. Customers just aren't happy and they want something more robust in order to ensure them that they'll keep their basement dry. We had to go above and beyond. They really did have a super serious iron ochre issue. So we customized the system to give the customer that peace of mind that they're never going to have this issue again. But once again, we're looking at thousands of dollars that could have been spent more wisely. And like we said, the worst thing in the world is having to waterproof your basement twice. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. If you did, why don't you hit the like button and also subscribe. And until next time, enjoy your dry basement.